Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Haxenhunt. Today's video, we are going to be doing first impressions of the new HOYT RX8 ULTRA. This bow is freaking awesome. Super similar looking to the RX7. Right off the bat, if you're just looking at the riser and limbs and everything, nothing looks much different. Whole new cam system, whole new mods, let off, different adjustments, 1/4 inch adjust. And so I'm really pumped to see how it shoots and performs differently as far as how the RX7 Ultra has felt. So I'm excited to shoot this thing, throw a few arrows through it, give you guys my thoughts and impressions of the new RX8 Ultra. We'll shoot it through the Chrono Graph with, I've got a bunch of different weighted arrows from 400 up to 520, basically in 20 grain increments. And so we'll really get to dial in what a hunting arrow setup speed is getting out of the new RX8. So
quick little interruption, guys, to the video. I want to let you know my giveaway is ending at midnight to give away my personal Mathews V3 to one of you guys. Simply buy a hat on my website and get entered in to win this Mathews V3. There's only going to be a max entries of 250 entries, and there's, I believe, only like 18 or 19 hats left as of right now when I'm posting it. If the hats are available on my website, it means entries are still available. If they don't all sell, totally fine. We're going to end the giveaway and we are going to wrap this up and give it away for the new year. So freaking pumped. Thank you guys so much for the support this entire year. I just want to really thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart. I love giving bows away. I want to give as many as I can away. So that being said, head over to Haxenhunt.com, go buy a hat, and you're going to win my personal V3. Sorry, I absolutely sound like crap. I packed out an elk yesterday that I got, and I was already had a cold and my throat is just killing me. So anyway, guys, really appreciate the support. I want to get back to the video. I'm just sitting here editing it for you guys. RX8 is a killer shooting bow, so I want to get back to the video so you guys can check it out and see what my initial thoughts are. So real quick, pause the video, head over to Haxenhunt.com. There's a link in the description. Go buy a hat. There's only a few left, and get entered in to win my personal V3 for the new year. Really appreciate you guys. Let's get back to the video.
Let's shoot this thing real quick, show you guys the first impressions and my first initial thoughts. All right, first up with that RX8 Ultra is the balance test. Not holding that bow, it's just sitting in the pocket of my thumb, and it is perfectly balanced. It does have that stubby stabilizer on it, basically stock with just cheap sight and whisker biscuit, just to be able to shoot it here in the range today. But balance is killer. Let's do the draw cycle. This bow is set up at 30-inch draw and 70 pounds. And you guys have probably noticed, switched up my release. I got the Scott Apex Core thumb button release. Kind of trying something new, seeing how it works. Clearly it's new because I can't seem to hook it on. But all right, let's do the draw cycle of this real quick. That is smooth, very smooth. Okay, so let off is set up at, I believe, 75%, or no, sorry, 85%. So it is a good let off, and I feel like it doesn't want to jump at all. Like, I can release quite a bit of pressure without that even wanting to go anywhere. Some guys like it, some guys don't. String angle at 30 inches is killer. Aim right there. We're gonna give it a shot. Ooh, that feels pretty solid, actually. Let's shoot that again. Draw cycle's really smooth. It's just consistent through the whole pole. No jump forward, no vibration, very dead in the hand. A lot of times with these carbons, you get a little extra just because they are light, and it's such a stiff riser that sometimes you get that vibration, but I'm not feeling it. That is a very smooth shooting bow. I'm just trying to make sure I'm staying in focus here. Okay, so the adjustability with the draw stop, I was just talking to the guys upstairs here at Humphreys. You swap the draw stops from top to bottom, bottom to top for a squishy or a more solid draw stop, and right now I have it set as solid. and it is very solid. I'll show you the back wall. Come up here so you guys can see kind of, there's a little bit of movement, but not much at all. Let's shoot that again. Very solid shooting bow. Again, it is set up at 30 inches. Naturally, I am a 29-inch draw, so it is a little long draw for me. So if you do notice that, that is why. I just like to shoot it at 30, just to be comparable with all the bows at 30 as much as I can. Very solid shooting bow. I feel like it settles really nice. It is very well balanced. It's quiet, dead in the hand. I feel like the draw process and shootability feels a little bit different than the previous RX7 Ultra. But like the after shot feels the same. That might be more dead actually, I don't know. Very similar, like it's not too much. Let's go with a little bit of a heavier arrow. This arrow is 520, that other one's 500. Gosh, solid shooting bow. All right, I am curious to see what speeds it's getting. I got a 400, 420, 440, 480, 500, and 520 grain arrow to shoot through the Chrono Graph with the RX8 Ultra to see what speeds it really is producing with a hunting arrow that me, a lot of people are gonna be using. No one really shoots with a 300, 350 grain arrow, especially at a 30-inch draw, 70 pounds. So we're gonna shoot that and see the speeds. We're gonna do a quick little 3-arrow group to see how consistent and stable that the bow as a platform feels and shoots. But overall so far, like I'm fairly impressed with the way it feels, the way it shoots, and the draw cycle. So very, very smooth bow. Let's shoot through that Chrono Graph, see the speeds that it is getting, and let you guys know if it's a bow I'd recommend shooting. All right, so we're gonna shoot this RX8 Ultra through the Chrono Graph and see the speeds. Again, we're set up at 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, and this first arrow is a 400 grain arrow. 301. All right, so she's shooting pretty quick. Next up is a 420 grain arrow. We're at 296, so we dropped 5. And then next up, 440 grain. So again, we're just increasing by 20 grains per arrow. 291, so dropping 5, super consistent. Next up, 480. 277. Here is a 500 grain arrow. 271, 520 grain arrow. At 268. So anywhere from 301 to 268, depending on the grain of arrow you are shooting, from 400 up to 520. So pretty good speeds coming out of RX8 Ultra, especially being the Ultra. It is the longer axle, so you're gonna get a little bit slower speeds. So let's do a quick 3-4 arrow group and kind of see how it settles, see how it kind of performs and how consistent it feels in the shot process with seeing how on target you can be. All right, we are gonna shoot a 3-arrow group real quick with the RX8 Ultra. See how consistent we can be. Again, this is, I mean, short range, but I'm kind of going off of feel. Okay, that felt very consistently like on target. I was aiming about at an inch circle there, and my pin never left that. Very, very consistently on target. Okay, same thing there. Feels like it settles with that back wall, just feels so solid that even with no extra stabilizer on it. Pretty impressed with that. Let's do another one just because it felt so good. Let's do a 4th arrow. Okay, very consistently on target. I feel like that pin has little to no float, which I feel like I usually float quite a bit with the carbons, just being a lighter bow. Without that extra weight, it does want to float, right? But that did not feel like it wanted to float whatsoever. I do want to see kind of what it feels like if I get rid of that stubby stabilizer there. Feels literally just as dead in the hand. Very, very consistently on target. So honestly, super impressed with that. The one feature, or two features I guess, I'm very excited about with the RX8 is being able to change your draw or your let off from 75 to 85 now. So giving that extra little weight in the back wall is going to allow you to be a lot more stable. So if you're able to hold that little bit extra weight, you're going to have more tension between each arm, which will hold a little bit steadier. Maybe not if you're holding for a long period of time, but definitely going to do that. And then having the 1/4 inch increments is a game changer. I run a 29 because a 29.5 sometimes feels a little too long depending on a situation, and but 29 is a little short. So I would really enjoy having that 29 1/4, which you're able to get out of this RX8 Ultra. So anyway, that's my first impressions, guys. I do want to say I'd get into your nearest dealer and see if you have the opportunity to shoot this. There's nothing I dislike about the bow, honestly. I mean, it looks and shoots very similar to the RX7, which I really did enjoy that bow. And just upgrading the entire cam system, the axle system, to where they actually, I believe they licensed the axles, the 1/4 inch axle from Mathews. So instead of having the E-clips to tune and change out your shims and everything, it is a lot easier to take your axles in and out and exchange those shims if you're having to change it when you're tuning. So that is a big thing because I hate the E-clips. So if you're doing any work on a bow yourself, that is a massive upgrade there. And then those new cams feel very, very smooth on the draw. Very impressed with that. So anyway, that's my first impressions, guys, of the RX8 Ultra. Big thank you to all you guys' support. I really appreciate everybody that tunes in each time I post a video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you guys next time.